So, guys, did we talk about the new film, Queen of the Ring?
We have
Did we
not.
talk about that on the show here tonight?
Not
We have
yet.
not.
Maybe we should.
Oh, we should for sure.
Maybe we need to take a look at a few of the names that are going to be part of this. People, yeah, throwback exactly. People shouldn't look at NXT not as a development; it's a brand. At one point, was the number show out of four the WWE had. Yes, definitely. One point NXT was Raw to SmackDown last, and NXT UK was third. How it
Hmm.
goes, right? Yeah, no, and definitely, and that's my mentality with it. That's how
Yeah.
I think about it. I'm gonna go through a couple of names here. So we're gonna talk about Tony Storm. We're gonna be talking about Trinity Fatu. We're gonna be talking about Camille. And maybe even talking a little bit about Jim Ross and Jim Cornette, even. Interesting here. There is a former women's wrestler named Mildred Burke. The NWA Women's Championship is pretty much based around Mildred's championship that she held with the
Yeah.
NWA. The NWA has really held on to the legacy of Mildred Burke, and I am so happy about that. But there is an upcoming biopic based on her life that is going to be coming up. We're going to be having Camille portray the role of June Byers, the former NWA Women's Champion, who had a storied rivalry with Burke in the 1940s and the 1950s. And apparently, there is a portion of this rivalry, like an entire chapter, is dedicated to the rivalry between Burke and Byers, which is very cool, including a 1954 match with a 2 out of 3 falls match
Yeah.
between women, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
And that was a fantastic match. I've watched it. So
The current Knockouts Women's Champion, Trinity Fatu, is going to be portraying the role of Ethel Johnson, the first ever African American women's champion in pro wrestling history. AEW Women's Champion Tony Storm is going to be playing Clara Mortensen. Jim Cornette is going to star as the NWA commissioner inside of this biopic that's being done. And it is said that Jim Ross will also be hands on with the production of the film as revealed by himself back in May. As of right now, there's no release date set for this biopic.
no.
What I want to talk about with this, though, is how do you guys feel about actual professional wrestlers taking on the role of a professional wrestler inside of a biopic or a film? Collect all of your thoughts, Chris. We're going to go to OMD first.
Okay.
I'm intrigued. I love it. I mean, we've all watched The Wrestler, so you had, in a lot of those cases, it was cameos because it was a Mickey Rourke movie where he was Randy the Ram, but
Right.
he had Ernest the Cat opposite him as his nemesis.
Right.
And he wrestled actual wrestlers in that movie too.
Yes. So I am okay because it lends that credibility.
Okay.
And the historical aspect. So the fact that they are coming out, and Emily Bett Rickards of Arrow fame starring in the movie.
Right. In the biopic.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit about that right now. I'm talking
Okay.
the women's
But-
wrestlers
But
wrestling.
I
as
love the
wrestlers.
I love the credibility of it and the authenticity.
Okay. No, and that's you know what, I agree with that. I think that it is absolutely fantastic that we're getting actual professional wrestlers to play professional wrestlers or act as professional wrestlers in a movie about a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
Like, it just writes itself,
Yep.
people. Good Lord. Okay, Chris, I know you were like rubbing your hands together, itching
because
to talk about this.
you said pro wrestling biopic, and it made me remember I was in a pro wrestling biopic movie, The Masked Saint,
Mm-hmm.
and I know the director of that movie on a personal level. So when I asked him, why did you hire our local wrestlers? I was actually at the audition with some of our guys. I was there with Diego Da Vinci. I was there with Vinny as well. And he said, because I want this to be as authentic as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So every wrestling scene that we see in that movie is our local guys doing their thing. And RJ City, who's also in the movie as well.
Right. Yes, he was. Yep.
And so this is what I love is when I see a pro wrestling movie, I'm always looking which wrestlers are going to be in this movie.
Yes.
And I actually did that today. I watched No Holds Barred, a wrestling movie.
Yes.
So I decided to see which wrestlers were in there. We had Jake Bullitt, who was played by Axe from Demolition. Jeep Swenson was in there from WCW, as was Stan Hansen was in it as well. There were a number of guys actually, and there's Zeus too. Zeus actually took some wrestling training before doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, this excites me because as a filmmaker myself, I'm all about authenticity in movies.
Of course. That's why I left it for you for last, because I knew you would have some good shit on this.
And let's not forget Ready to Rumble and all the wrestlers that were in that.
Yeah. And you know what though? I got to give credit to Ready to Rumble to David Arquette, because he actually did go through the in-ring training and all that to prepare for the movie. So again, level of authenticity there too.
Yep.
I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait until this biopic comes out, and I hope that it's going to go onto a streaming platform of some sort, whether it is Netflix or Amazon Prime, something like that. Please, I really want it to happen that way so that I can have the availability.
And can I just say too that I'm glad that Camille got the role of June Byers, because I've been reading and following this story for pretty close to a year, and they had a hell of a time trying to find their June Byers.
Right. This is perfect, and I think Camille is going to be absolutely fantastic with it. I think that she's going to do amazing, and
she's got the look that June Byers had. That's
exactly it. Yes.